Okay. All right. Let's see if this works. Fantastic. How are you?
Am I your first one that you're doing this with?
I am the first one that you're doing this with, although I've here, let me back up and do a second audio just somehow in case this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Good point, good point. But yeah, well, I mean, I don't know, man. Trust in technology. That's what you get, Terminator 2 and all that. That's what's going to happen. So, anyway.
Well, did you ever hear that? Did you hear that Elon Musk interview with Joe Rogan?
No. No. What
Oh
was
man,
that about?
he goes all in on artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh yeah, like total doomsday.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Did I catch you in the middle of anything?
No, I was at PT this morning for my leg, so I had it's across town. So by the time I got out of there and navigated traffic, it took a little longer than I expected because they added in a little extra PT
Hmm.
uh, massage at the end, which was more painful. It wasn't usually you think massage, you're like, all right, awesome.
Yeah.
This was massage, ow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I saw online you got hurt. What happened?
yeah, I jumped off the top rope to the floor in there was a three-team ladder match in Waterbury, Connecticut. And as soon as I landed, I shattered my tibia into 15 pieces. And, um,
Did they miss a catch or something, or
did they what?
were they supposed to catch you and they missed, or you just hit the ground hard?
Yeah, no, they were supposed to kind of catch me and nobody was there. And then I ended up against kind of the guardrail and the mat and it was rough. So, as soon
Oh.
as it happened, I knew I was messed up because I rolled over, but my leg didn't. And it was like super gross. And then, I got cleared to walk in March of this year and then I broke it again and I broke the steel plate that was in there right in half. And then, so I had to have a steel rod inserted into my leg from my knee straight down to my foot through my tibia, and then I had to have another surgery because it got infected. So uh, it's been quite the year for me, and I just got fully cleared from the doctor to return to normal activity, and I've been doing PT for the last 6 weeks, and uh, gosh, it's almost probably 8 weeks now. But hoping to get back in the ring. That's the goal.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. Now, yeah, I guess that's why I was confused. I thought you wrestled David Arquette, or maybe you just helped train him recently. Was that what it was, or?
Yeah, he actually came to the Hudson Valley because he was filming a movie here.
Right, I
And
saw that.
he looked up local wrestlers in the area and he found my story about my leg. And
Yeah.
before I had ever met him or done anything, he actually contributed to my GoFundMe campaign,
Hmm.
uh, which was awesome. I didn't even know, like, I never met David Arquette before. I was completely out of the blue.
Yeah.
And then he sent me a message on Facebook and we got to talk and know each other a little bit. Um, and he invited me to his movie set to come check it out and see what it was all about. So I got a chance to do that, which was really cool. And he started asking me a bunch of questions about professional wrestling and what was going on in the area. And I have obviously close ties to the Hudson Valley wrestling scene. And we were doing a show in Poughkeepsie in September 9th. And I thought it would be kind of a perfect fit. So um, we kind of hooked him up with Northeast Wrestling and got him on the card. And I wasn't physically cleared to do anything, so I wasn't allowed to get into the ring with him. My partner Hale brought him to training down at Johnny Rod's, so he got him kind of indoctrinated into the New York independent wrestling scene
Hmm.
pretty quickly. And they've gone down there a few times now. He's still been training. David's kind of, I don't know, it's crazy, but he actually like really wants to do this. So he doesn't come at it from any kind of a half-ass perspective. He goes all in. So it was really cool to see. I didn't know what to expect when we got to the show that night, and he had like real gear. He had like, um, he had his t-shirts ready, and he had these sunglasses that he actually carved with an X-Acto knife in the locker room and made like wrote Arquette into the glasses.
Uh-huh.
And it it's cool that the locker room kind of is accepting of him too. They didn't know what to expect, so it's kind of you look at him out of the corner of your eye, he's looking at you out of the corner of your eye, like is anybody gonna beat my ass for being in here? You know, but everybody couldn't have been cooler, and I feel like he's been accepted, and his amount of bookings have started to really go up. He started taking out more things. He's going to be on the House of Hardcore show in Philadelphia on December 8th. So and I'm hoping to be there as well, participating. So that's the plan there. So I was able to connect in with Tommy, and it's been cool to kind of, I don't know, get to know him in like the respect, like you see the movie guy, you don't know what you're gonna get from that.
Yeah.
And you end up getting like a really cool guy, more genuine than anything. Asks me about my family all the time. Asks me about my injury, anything he can do to help me. It's cool.
Yeah, I actually got a chance to meet him earlier this year. I was some PR agent asked me if I wanted to write about some documentary about prison, and he happened to be one of the producers of that movie called Survivor's Guide to Prison.
Yep.
Just all about the facts and figures and things we don't realize, and
Yeah.
got to meet him at the New York premiere, and yeah, he was a really great guy. He had time for everybody, and just yeah. So anyway, and so I saw that, but I was scared to ask him about wrestling.
Yeah, he says that happens to him all the time. Is that no one knows how to kind of bring it up, and he's the biggest. He beats on himself more than anything. He says, "I didn't want the belt." I've heard him say that a couple times. They kind of forced him into it to be champion. He really didn't. He liked wrestling so much that he knew that was going to get people to not like him very much. So, he didn't pay any dues. So, so he would be looked at as a joke. And there's even now to this day, he's still got Bubba Dudley kind of going after him a bit for being a mark. And you don't know how true that is. You never know what mode Bubba's in, but it's always work mode. But you never know if it's good work mode or bad. Yeah. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was weird. So anyway, I'm going to ask him about it, but it seems like he just stopped talking about wrestling like publicly after that WCW thing for it's been almost 20 years now, and
Yeah.
so yeah, this is kind of a big thing. Like, I mean, well, hopefully it turns out better than CM Punk going to UFC, but
Yeah. I mean, he was at NXT. He was at the last NXT Brooklyn show, I believe, and I know he filmed some stuff for WWE backstage, and I know, obviously they're aware of him doing what he's doing. WWE's the best in the world at what they do, so if there's any interest there, I'm sure they would have no problem pulling the trigger. He's certainly bringing it. Like, he lost 40 pounds. He's in shape. He's training. He's actually trying really hard. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I've only seen clips. I haven't got to see him work a whole match yet. What's he like in the ring?
Kind of a daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he's like doing top rope planches to the floor. He did his big famous double axe handle off the top the other day. Rightfully so. He's taking a lot of the heat and getting beat up a lot. I've seen him in tag matches. I didn't get a chance to see his singles match with RJ yet, but I've seen his tag matches before, and does pretty appropriate things for that. He's exchanging holds, doing high spots. He just doesn't. He's not like the fine mat wrestler acumen guy. He's in there for that spot. So you're in there to see David Arquette kind of get beat up a little bit and then do something crazy. So you give people what they paid to see. Nobody wants to see David Arquette exchanging wrist locks, I think.
No, not going to be a test of strength for him, huh?
No, I don't think so. Maybe a figure four here and there.
I think we'd all love that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've been to three House of Hardcore shows. I don't know if you remember. I think I met you at that cheesesteak place in
Yep.
Philadelphia. Yeah, you do remember.
Yep.
How did and how did what made you want to change your first name, not just your last name for wrestling? Uh,
To be Vic Delicious.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
It was it's weird because like guys always go through like all this whole thing of sometimes they change names or they just rock with the real name or somebody gives them that name. I was distinctly driving down the road thinking about it. I was training in the training school in Albany, and uh, I thought of like cool names and like what I wanted to be, and I always thought the wrestling tag team name for Buff and Scott Norton of Vicious and Delicious was a cool name.
that's right.
And I just shortened Vicious to Vic, and I changed the spelling of Delicious, and that was my name from there on forward. So um, it's funny because every time I would do WWE work, um, they would always come up to me, and it was Sergeant Slaughter almost every time, and they would come up to me, and he's like, "All right, what's your real name?" I tell him, "Rob Begley." "What's your work name?" "Vic Delicious." And then he would stop and he'd look at me, and he would never write down Vic Delicious. He would always write down only Rob Begley. So they would never, they would never use my name.
Oh,
Of course,
what were you doing for them? Like dart matches or developmental stuff, or what was that?
yeah, I was in Ohio Valley Wrestling from
Oh,
2003 to 2005, and uh, I was doing extra work. I started in January 2003, and I had WWE extra work all through there while I was training. Jim Cornette actually let me use Vic Delicious on TV, and as part of the reason I graduated college was I was finishing my degree while I was attending OVW, and my final exam for my communications major was to uh, develop the character of Vic Delicious and debut him on television for OVW. So Jim Cornette had to come to my school with me, meet my advisor, and then he was the one who signed off on the final part of it. And my final exam was when I debuted on TV. It was cool. Uh,
wow.
yeah, my last WWE dark match. Well, I had a match with CM Punk on Sunday Night Heat that never aired, so that's kind of a dubious honor that I have. Um, but I did the SmackDown 15th anniversary show. I was there as an extra for that too. So
When
uh,
you say extra, you just mean a jobber. Is that what you mean? Just somebody
yeah,
then just gets beat by Brock Lesnar in like 10 seconds or whatever.
yes. I
Okay.
have one WWE victory under my belt. I won a match in Albany, New York against a guy named Dave Danger. So
Okay. What program is that?
super random, right?
Yeah. What was that was that on TV or was that just a?
Nope, it was like the second match before the show. So
Okay.
it was before SmackDown, uh, and my first match, the first night I wrestled Sean O'Hare in a dark match, and Shane McMahon was the agent for the match. So I was a 20-year-old kid scared to death. And Shane McMahon, I gave him like the fake worker handshake where you shake hands real lightly, and uh, he said, "Hey Rob, I got a question for you." And I said, "Yes, sir." He's like, "You got a set of balls on you?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, why don't you shake my hand like it?" And I was like, "Okay." And from then on forward, I made sure I shook his hand, shook everyone's hands like a real man. Uh, Back when I first started, they told me to shake hands with somebody, shook hands very lightly, because that meant you were a light worker. Um, it was an old school mentality. So some guys would shake your hand and they would like literally limp shake your finger. It's a huge rib now, but back when I first started in 2001, that was what was actually taught to me. So,
Hmm.
but WWE was trying to get rid of that idea back then. Clearly,
I haven't heard that before. Sounds like the old Hunter Hearst Helmsley Blue Bloods character kind of thing.
right? Yeah, that's funny.
Uh, all right. Well, awesome talking to you. Anything else you want to add about David Arquette? I think you gave me some good stuff there.
Yeah, no, I know they're doing November 9th in the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. He's wrestling a rematch with the guy that he wrestled last time in Poughkeepsie. So that's the show that Kenny Omega's on. It's a singles match in the area, so it's worth checking out. They're hyping it up pretty big in Poughkeepsie, and it's going to be a pretty solid show. So I don't know how too many shots that Kenny Omega comes in and works. So it'll be
Yeah,
worth checking out.
yeah, really. It's probably his first match in America after All In.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And he's Penta's going to be there. It's Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix, and then Jack Swagger versus RVD, and Scott Hall's going to be there. So, and then David Arquette.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Anyway, I've been doing this writing thing myself for about 3 years. Something I always wanted to do. Just I don't know. Never thought it would happen. Then
Yeah.
I had a bunch of friends who were getting published, and I was like, well, shit, they're not better than me. So just went after it a little bit. But this is going to be my first wrestling piece.
That's awesome. So did you just do freelance work or like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
sit at work and gets picked up or what?
just freelance mostly. I just once you get in with one magazine, then it's easier because then you can just send them whatever terrible ideas you have, and they usually respond to it. But if it's a new company, you have to send them like a long, detailed, like you know, the best idea you've ever had kind of thing, which is how I got this thing with Deadspin. I sent them like this 7 paragraph thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, just freelance unless I can figure out how to get a staff job somewhere. But
Yeah.
uh,
My mom works for she writes for the newspapers in Florida. My mom's been a journalist her whole life, so um, I totally understand the business and how much it's tough, real tough to keep consistent work. So, and all these
awesome.
companies end up getting bought by another company.
Oh, yeah, I was like, yeah, I joke, I finally broke into a dying industry, but, uh, yeah, so, I texted David and he said he'd love to talk to me, but he said to email his assistant. So I did that, waiting to hear back, and then I saw he was doing November 9th at Poughkeepsie, so I thought maybe I could see him work a match and then talk to him afterwards, so we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
there you
see,
go.
see what his assistant says. Maybe I can,
His assistant's real good. She answers back. I can't remember if it's a he or she, but I know they answer back real fast. Every media person I've put in contact with them has gotten the interview really quick, so
yeah.
shouldn't be a problem.
All right. Well, yeah, my friend was suggesting you know, I could come to a training camp before the match too.
There you go. Well, possibly.
Yeah.
If you get in touch with him beforehand, ask him if he minds.
Yeah.
Just see. The easiest way to do it.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, if I don't see you in Poughkeepsie, I'll see you in Philly, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be there.
All right. All right, brother. If you need anything else from me, just let me know.
You got it.
All
All
right, man.
right. Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.